Technically, today it's Monza versus Milan, but if you were to read some news media reports, you'd honestly be believing that it's actually Rafael Leao versus Paulo Fonseca. Now, for those of you guys who are probably watching the stream after the game is actually done, you're not watching this live, just drop back down into the comment section, go into the description. I'll have all the timestamps of where things are discussed. But today, there's not going to be a 4 takeaways video. Today, it's going to be a live stream. It's been a while since I've done this, and I also have some family stuff today that's going on. For that reason, I won't be able to. It's my aunt's anniversary, and so all the family's getting together, so I won't be able to make a 4 takeaways video. No video today about the game. So I thought, why not pop in here, watch Daniel Maldini play against Milan, discuss all the madness that is happening in this club. Obviously, as usual, I'm going to jump into the comment section, make sure my audio is good and everything's fine. So make sure you guys can let me know if there are any issues that you see. But we're probably about a minute away from kickoff. We do have Theo Hernandez back. That helps big time. I think Michael and I have very similar sentiments about today's game. I think the last time that I went live was probably Milan Lazio. Not the last time Rafael Leao was dropped. That seems to be becoming a bit of a theme this season. But one of the last times that Leao was dropped was the time that I went live. So it's the first live since match day 3. So all I want to know from you guys is how you feel about what's going on with Milan. I want to know what your sentiments are, because a lot of the times you guys give me some amazing takes in the comment section. I appreciate Tom with the supportive comment of everything is okay. Sometimes when you're doing a live stream, it's very nice to know from somebody else that everything's working fine. Because I don't have a tech engineer who can help me with this. So I appreciate it, Tom. We're about a few seconds away from kickoff. The score down here should be changing soon. But here we go. Let's go. Match day 11 of Serie A. Milan are sitting in 8th place. To be fair, one match behind. Chukwueze picks up the start, as he should. Pavlovic goes up ahead. Pulisic playing into a more advanced role, almost playing like kind of like a number 9. Because Alvaro Morata tends to drop back so much, you do get to see Pulisic, in those positions. Milan playing with some relatively high intensity. Pablo Mari, the captain of Monza, went from Arsenal. Malik Tau and Pavlovic partnering up again today. I mean, Gabia is probably out even for the match against Real Madrid, from what I understand. So we're going to have to keep it this way. Morata to Theo Hernandez on the left. Theo to Noah. Or Reinders, sorry. Yeah, let's start the discussions. Most of the times when I do a live stream, it's not a lot of watching the game. It's a lot more of reading what you guys have to say about the ongoings with this club. With this club that never fails to deliver. Honestly, we'll have a lot of discussions as the video goes along. We're going to talk about... Whoa, Theo Hernandez with a superb ball to Johnny Reinders there. Wow. Oh, there it goes. Noah Okafor to Reinders. Not the best ball. Needed a little bit of curve into the box there. But Reinders with a pass back to Theo. Theo with a pass from outside the foot. Looked like that Terracciano tend to overrun that a little bit. Oh, Theo with another interception. Nice work, Theo. But yeah, this is one of those clubs that, just keeps on giving. And it keeps on giving us things we are not even asking it to give us. Pulisic to Terracciano on the right. Goes to Samuel. Chukwueze. Samuel. Complete full freedom to Samu Castillo. Oh, buddy. Good times. Suddenly, Samu Castillo days sound better. But Samuel Chukwueze has been given full freedom from Paulo Fonseca to just unleash. Make those drives and unleash. And the way that Chukwueze has been playing recently, you almost get the sense that he looks like the way Leao used to look a little while ago. As I said in the video too. The way that he makes those runs, comfortably able to get past the defenders, and then cuts into his left foot, his preferred foot. Rangers is asking for a red card there. Rangers asking for a similar red card that he was actually given, but except that this guy's tackle was clean. Now let's see what you guys have to say. Pulisic hat trick, according to Short Man Jordan. Let's see. He might be short a couple goals. I said couple, not all three. Chow Kush, Anthony says, I don't understand why Fonseca is benching Leao again. I don't see how this helps him again in his confidence by constantly benching him. It doesn't. Honestly, I feel like Leao conversations are going to be happening probably throughout the entirety of today's live stream, but it does not. Fonseca has been brought here for a reason, and that is to get the best out of some players. Oh, what a ball there from Noah Okafor. Theo Hernandez, behind Pulisic for some reason. But yeah, Paulo Fonseca has been brought in here with the role, the responsibility of, helping out the top players, helping out players like Theo Hernandez, reach the next level. Is he really the coach that's going to take Milan to the next level? The initial signs, let's just be, now that we're 10 games into the season and into the Serie A season, I have to be straight about how I feel about this. Do I think he's the man to take Milan to the next level? Absolutely not at this point. He's actually seems to be breaking the club apart from inside. So that's that. But he's been brought here for a job. And the job is to improve players, not take the confidence of one of the best players year in, year out for you and the highest paid player. I mean, I don't think the management's very happy that Leao is sitting on the bench collecting his $7 million and Milan's not even getting anything out of him. So I think it's top down that they're not happy, but I guess they're at least until now, as what we're seeing is that they're supporting him. Maldini brace, Michael says. Well, somehow I wouldn't mind that actually. Andy says, Kush, if we win this game, I like your picture, Andy. If we win this game, will Fonseca just continue not playing Rafa? That's the concern. That is something that actually bothers me a little bit about this, Andy. Is that, obviously I always want Milan to win. But I want Milan to win with a long-term project. That's why I sometimes don't get too caught up in individual results. I care far more about how we're looking in the long run. If Milan wins without Leao in the long run against a side like Monza, which they should be beating even without Leao, let's be real. If you're trying to compete here for big things, you should be beating a team like Monza with or without Leao. Let's say Leao's injured. You still should be beating them. But if they do beat this side, will Paulo Fonseca then feel like, oh yeah, you know what? See, I can rest this guy. I'll rest this guy. I can drop this guy. I really hope that's not what he draws out of this, but only time will tell. His treatment of Rafael Leao has been so surprising to me that I don't even know what to say because I didn't expect him to be treating him the way that he is. How much do you think Leao will go for if he goes? I really don't know. 175 million is his release clause. No one's paying that because he's not playing worth that. Obviously, not even close. Oh, will Rangers get on the top of that? No. Okay, Monza's coming in attack here. Let's watch this play out. Theo Hernandez goes down. Referee does not give a foul. Oh my God, Dani Mota with the goal. Now we have to see if there's a foul en route to this goal, and they have blown the whistle. And they're going to watch probably the replay. Oh my God, Itzo is almost going to make out with the ref there, the way that he's holding on to him. We're going to see if that's actually a foul or not, because it did look like it was. I actually don't know if it was a foul or not. They're going to have to watch this again. Okay, so now we have to see if he took him down in any way. They're saying that there is a foul on Theo Hernandez on the way to this goal. I'm making notes for the people who, oh my God, Dani Mota with a perfect strike. I mean, launches it into the ground. I mean, Mike should be doing better with that, I would think, but it skidded off the surface. It was very close range. Oh, the goal is not going to stand. I feel like Monza might have been hard done here. Love the content. Squish616 says, love the content, by the way. Thank you, Squish. I appreciate it. Christian with the drive. Pulisic leaves it out to Okafor. Okafor passes out to Rangers. Rangers with a little bit of space. Goes out to Chukwueze. Not the best ball. Chukwueze driven out from his position a little bit. Chukwueze with the drive. Edge of the box. Trying to get in. Pass it out to Rangers. Rangers holds on to the ball. Is that a foul? Oh, it's a foul the other way. How? He didn't even touch it with his hand. Kush is our good luck charm. If he's live, we about to win. Misak, last time I went live, my friend, it was a 2-2 against Lazio. However, Leao was dropped. He came on to score a goal. I don't mind a Leao goal today, I'll be honest. I've been waiting for it. So hopefully I'm lucky for Leao. Someone did say, I saw reports that Barca are monitoring the situation of Leao at Milan. By the way, Liverpool fan here, started following your channel since our Champions League encounter. Really good match reactions. Appreciate it, Kamal. That's very kind of you. I don't know, man. Whenever there's bad results, there's always some news linking some guy to another club. So right now, I really don't want to believe anything. And it's not even remotely transfer window time. So it's a bit of a waste of time. And I would be very surprised if Leao is anywhere close to leaving, because all of this would be fine if Milan was getting results, if they were winning the big games and Leao was dropped. Then I think there's a possibility of the club saying, hey, you know what? Let's just cash out on the guy. We're winning without him anyways. So let's just cash out and see if we can sign 2-3 different players that are good quality. But when you're sitting in 8th place with a game in hand, but you're sitting in the 25th spot in the Champions League, you're losing against sides like, I think we lost against Parma. You're lost against Fiorentina, lost against Napoli. You had one, unexpected win against Inter, but outside of that, you've been so disappointing that you have to ask the question, is the coach worth it to sell Leao for? And I think that's where Milan's going to say no. There's a better chance of Leao surviving this than the coach if the results continue this way. Leao can shine under a new coach, but if the coach is going to give us these kinds of results, we're not going to keep him long-term anyway. So I don't think there's any truth to any movements about Rafael Leao at this point. Christo says, channel member, I appreciate it, Christo. I just don't understand what he's doing with Leao. I don't know either, my friend. If you figure it out, let me know. Because at this point in time, it's just not making much sense. But let's still watch a little bit of the game too. Oh my goodness, Danny Mata just completely bamboozled Pavlovic there. Jeez. There's a free kick right on the edge of the box. Danny Mata is good. And the way that he got past Pavlovic there, very smart. Stayed on the ball. Oh, he was fouled by Pulisic right on the edge of the box. My God, Christian, that was dangerous. So the reason why I am going live today is because I do have some family stuff happening. And for that reason, I just wanted to make sure that I don't miss that. Even though I wanted to put out a 4 takeaways video, but there's not going to be one today. But I'll be putting out a video tomorrow about some of the happenings of this club, within this club right now. Mark with a long comment. Let's read this. Fonseca's Lille last season. Home games table, they were top of the French league, but away they were 8th. So do we think similar things will happen with Milan? Os Fonseca's Roma home away stats. I don't know the stats for sure, Mark, but I do know. Okay, let's just watch this free kick once, because I think Maldini's stepping up for this. And it's going to be Maldini who takes it. Let's be real. Daniel goes straight into the wall. Oh my goodness. Kyriakopoulos with the rebound, but Mike was completely flat-footed there. Was it close? Oh my God. Let's see if it was close. Oh, that was close. That wasn't too far. But Mark's question once again, Lille's last season. Look, I don't want to say anything about Lille or comparison with Milan because I didn't watch Lille play last season. What I do know is that Lille's playing amazing after Fonseca left. They've beaten Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. They've beaten Real Madrid in the Champions League. They're beating sides in Ligue 1. So whatever Fonseca was doing there must have been decent. But man, are they doing better since he left? So I don't know. My trust in Fonseca is right in balance right now. It's leaning a little bit towards losing that trust. But I'm just looking at what his former club is doing in his absence, and sometimes that gives you an answer too. Fonseca's home and away stats for Roma, I wouldn't know that. We'll look into it. Andy comes back and says, sometimes benching your best player is good for a couple of games, but overdoing it will build resentment, toxicity in the dressing room. You can do that with average players, but not your stars. I got nothing to add to that, Andy. I'm completely with you. It makes sense to make a point like, hey, we need you to be more present in defense. We need you to evolve your game. You need to take the next step now. You need to be good in attack, but you also need to help out the team in the team's cause. Those are fair points from a coach. But I'm going to drop you today. How's Okafor doing? He's fine, but I'm going to drop you again in the next game. How's Okafor doing? He's okay. Not great, not bad. More balance to the team with Okafor there, but I'm still going to drop you. Beyond a certain point, it's too much. And I think it's reached that point now. Especially in the match against Napoli. When you had that Christian Pulisic flu, then you start Leao. No question about it. Dani Mota with the ball. Oh, goal! Oh my goodness, Daniel! Oh, Maldini should have scored that so easily, dude. That was a tap-in. Awful defense from Milan once again. Oh my goodness, Daniel Maldini just did us a favor there. Absolute favor, bro. Thank you. That was an absolute cake of a goal. Gift wrap. Early Christmas present from Daniel to Milan. Daniel Maldini dressing up as Luka Jovic for Halloween. Man, I'm thirsty under these lights. Jesus. Tomori also regularly on the bench now. What do you think? Yeah, Tomori hasn't been good. I get it. So, kind of get that one. And now you have defensive options. If, Tau and Pavlovic conceded 2 goals against Napoli, but they didn't look that bad. Gabi has been playing really well. So, it's one of those things where you're like, well, I think I may have a couple of guys better than you, bro. So, yeah. Alvaro Morata. Morata with the pass out. Milan entered Monza's box after a few hours there. Oh my goodness. That ball fell right to Terracciano. He kind of went to ground there. Trying to win a penalty, but still pretty good. Yeah, Terracciano did try a little too hard to win a penalty there. I get the point about the long project, but we are mid-table in Serie A and lower half of Champions League, so I don't know. I agree with you, man. Long project is perfectly fine, but you need results right now, too. Otherwise, your long project starts to suffer, too. There's a lot of comments, guys. I'm going to try and catch on. I'm probably not going to read every single comment because usually I do that, but now there's so many more of you guys that watch this, which I appreciate big time, but I just have to. I can't. Fofana passed that back straight to a Monza player. Mota with the pass. Cross in. Itzo with a foul on Morata, but I don't think that was actually a foul. Not only Christo says, not only am I upset that with how he's treating Rafa, but I'm not convinced Noah is anything more than a super sub, to be honest. I have to agree with that completely. That's exactly what I feel about Noah. I've even tweeted about this in the past. Noah Okafor is a very good substitute player, and he should play exactly in that role, but he cannot be starting ahead of Rafael Leao. And if he does, he needs to show something super special to be able to keep getting the starts. Right now, I feel like the amount of starts Okafor is getting, Chukwueze from the right flank. Chukwueze with the cross into Morata. Alvaro. Oh, come on, Morata. You can't foul him like that. As I was saying, right now I feel like Noah Okafor is not getting starts because he's playing so much better than Leao. I think he's just getting starts because the coach has decided that that's who he's going to be giving chances to. Okafor! Right when I said it. Jesus Christ, the guy almost scored a goal. He should have done better there. Now you show me Rafael Leao doing the exact same thing. Watch Milan fans lose their collective you-know-whats. That's a 4-on-2. Morata with the ball to Okafor. Okafor from a spot we expect him to finish if he's going to take over Rafael Leao's role. He didn't do it there. And that's our point. You're going to have to do something special if you want to keep getting starts. But right now it seems like you're just getting starts because the coach prefers to give you starts. That should have been a goal. Unless that's something Fonseca has the forwards doing, it just makes Milan look more incompetent, right? I think you guys are just having a chat between each other. Anthony says Pavlovic has been hot and cold this season. He has. I think almost all of Milan's defenders outside of maybe Gabbia have been hot and cold this season. Tau started weak, looked better now. Pavlovic started better, looks off now. Tomori hasn't been convincing all season. Gabbia was brought back on, played pretty well, but picked up an injury. So Joshua says, I was shocked Rafa hasn't started 3 matches in a row. Joshua, I didn't really think about it that way, but you're right. Yeah, he hasn't, which is pretty amazing. Theo Hernandez with pace. Theo Hernandez, that should be an assist. Now, Theo, come on, make something happen. Theo with the pass. No, Okafor fluffs it again. You got to score those if you want these starts, bro. He fluffs an empty net. Absolute empty net fluffed. And the part that bothers me right now is that I almost feel like I'm rooting against Noah. And I'm not. He's a Milan player. Why would I ever root against a Milan player? But you're going to have to take these in, man. You're going to have to put these in. That's his second chance that he's gotten. One was 1v1 with the goalkeeper. That should have been a goal. Without question, he had the entire open space. And the next one is an easy tap in into an empty net. Theo Hernandez with an excellent drive. Oh, come on, Noah. Come on, bro. Fonseca was holding up 4 fingers. Yeah, he's gotten about 3-4 chances by now that he hasn't dispatched. No, not good enough. Nice to see Alessandro Nesta, my God. I don't know if you guys used to watch Milan when Nesta was playing. I'm sure some of you guys didn't. A lot of new, AC Milan fans from the US, Pulisic guys. But man, those were the days. My 2 cents. Let's listen to XVX's 2 cents. We always complain about Rafa's performance. And once he goes to the bench, we still complain because he's not playing. Never happy. I'm sure some fans do that. Obviously, fans are fickle. That's just how the nature of the internet is, almost, you could say. But I wouldn't put myself in that category. I don't think he needs to be benched. He's not playing well. Keep playing him. He'll find his form. We've seen him do some amazing things. So I'm sure you're right about a certain section of the Milan fan base that complains when he's playing, he should be dropped. What is happening? And then they start complaining about the coach who drops him. But here on this channel, I have been very consistent. I've never been for Rafa being dropped. Makes no sense to me, to be honest. My goodness, there's a bunch of you here, so I'm just trying to run through which comment to take. Let's take this one from Southwick. If Rafa's release clause, I'm watching Adriano Galliani on the screen. Good memories with him too. If Rafa's release clause is paid, are you happy with that? And how do you spend that 170? Oh my goodness. That's a very, very tough question to answer right now in the middle of a game when it comes to, which players to buy. But I'll be honest, man, when you get 170 million for any player, you got to consider it. You can rebuild a massive chunk of your squad from that. Look at Napoli. Look at what they used to be. Some of you guys might not even remember these guys, but there was a time when they had Edinson Cavani playing, and they sold him for, I think, 100+ million, or a very high sum at least, to PSG. They rebuilt their entire squad, and they did a really good job with the spending too. Dries Mertens, Jose Callejon, I think Insigne was already there. Maybe even brought in Gonzalo Higuain from Real Madrid that season. And they turned into, if only they had Daniel Maldini with the shot, Mike Maignan with the stop, goes out for a corner kick. Better chances have fallen to Milan for sure in the last 10 minutes, but they haven't taken them. So that doesn't help. So yeah, when you get 170 million for any player, you gotta really take it. Gotta consider it at least. Liam says, Okafor, why? Literally called it by Okafor. Okafor, why don't you just finish that? That should have been a goal. This is why Okafor needs to be on the bench. Ricardo, as much as Okafor is not that great, he definitely deserves to start instead of Rafa. Ricardo. No, Ricardo. Leaving Emerson out was the right move. I feel like he's the weakest link in this team. Abdul says, yeah, today Terracciano starting, which I actually, this is the one thing that about Paulo Fonseca that I don't mind. And if you watch, my preview for, once Fonseca was signed on, I made a preview about, his playing style and all that. And this was the one part that we actually addressed, was that he is very good with utilizing young players and trying to actually give them chances, take a chance on them. Theo Hernandez on the left flank, partnered up with Christian Pulisic. Pulisic on the ball again. Reinders with a cross out to Chukwueze. This is a lovely ball. Chukwueze with a decent bit of space, but then gets crowded by three different players. Morata with the header. Oh my goodness, Morata has to do better with that. That's bad. That's a great ball put up by Chukwueze. Excellent pass first from Reinders. Good positioning from Chukwueze. Gets crowded by a few players, but still gets a cross out. Morata completely unmarked. Should have done better. Should have done a lot better, considering his experience. He could have even probably controlled it on his chest and taken a shot. Gabi and Ibrahimovic in the crowd. Gabi looks more animated. Ibrahimovic just frustrated. But yeah, I was talking about the coach. This is the one thing that I do like about him, is that he gives youngsters a chance. Terracciano. Oh my goodness. Oh, what a stop, Mike. Oh, jeez. How many stops are you going to ask from this guy? An absolute eagle stop. Oh my goodness. What a stop. Mike Maignan with a ridiculous stop. You know how much time he had to get down there? Wow, brilliant. That too with one hand. absolute stunner. Even the crowd, look at their reaction to that. What a stop, Mike. Phenomenal. Getting bailed out right now by Maignan. Yet again. All those fans that have been talking about Mike too in the recent past. Stop. Dude's kept you in game single-handedly. Okafor again, dude. Okafor again. Awful. Okafor misses again. He never scores. Benching Leao for this is just insane. Leao is smirking on the bench. Andy, I think I agree with you. He probably is. Here comes Monza again. From the left flank. They're going to cross it in. Chukwueze crosses it right back to a Monza player there who gets past Rangers really well, actually. Danny Mata. Maldini. Maldini! Oh my God, Maldini off the post. What is happening? What is this luck factor today with Milan? Wow, Maldini with so much intelligence there. He was offside. He's probably offside, yeah. Oh my God, Maldini just allowed, who was that? Malik Ta to get down. My goodness, Daniel. That's why he's been called out by Italy. It's not for nothing. Yeah, he was offside though. Milan has no defense, basically. All those people talking about, everybody talking about defense, and Milan with their defense, and Milan with Rafa, they have more defense. You guys watching this game? You really think Leao is the problem here? It's Monza. It's not Madrid on Tuesday. This is Monza. You see how they're opening us up? You see how we're bending over for them? Completely, absolutely caught in their spell. What defense with Okafor? What are we talking about here? We're just giving up on an attacking outlet, if anything. Leao scares defenders. Okafor doesn't do anything close to that. We're shooting ourselves in the foot. Absolutely. At least he defends unlike Leao. This rhetoric of this defense. What defense? Which defense? Which one? Where is Okafor helping out in defense? What are we talking about here? It's just a rhetoric. What Okafor does, let me keep it simple. What Okafor does for Milan's defense, when Leao is in good form, he'll do way more than that for Milan's attack. And this is the point that I already made a note of. You have Alvaro Morata now. Morata drops back. He can help out in defense. You're not going to have all 11 players defending. No team does that. You're going to have one attacking outlet up top. That player can be Rafael Leao. Before we had Giroud and Leao, that was a problem, right? Because Giroud couldn't help out with defense either. Morata can now. Defense, this defense thing, as if freaking Okafor is the next coming of Paolo Maldini and Alessandro Nesta had a baby. Like, what is he doing in defense? My goodness. Rangers. To Terracciano with the first. Well, Terracciano was rushing it a little bit there. I'm obviously annoyed. I'm tired of hearing this thing, man. We could buy 2 top-tier players for 170 million. They're not even playing 50 million for this Rafa. Yeah, no, they're not. Well, 50 million you could probably get for Rafa right now. Absolutely, my friend. But you're right. They're not going to get 175 anything. They're not going to get anything close to 100 million. Okafor with a decent ball there. Could have been good for Pulisic. Fofana gets on the end of it. Theo Hernandez. Alvaro Morata. Morata penalty. Morata went down. Maldini. 1v1 against Malik Tau. Needs support. Maldini. Go pass back. Danny Mata wants that. Nope. Foul. Dynamic Phase says, am I the only one that thinks this team plays like, which one? You're talking about Monza or Milan? I think with Milan, we know for a while they've been pretty abysmal. Morata's having a problem, I think. All right. I feel like I'm watching the same over and over again, and it's not enjoyable. We are. That is exactly what's happening. They open up every team that plays against Milan, opens up Milan's defense the exact same way, and gets their chances. A lot of the times it's crosses from the left, from Milan's right flank, their left flank. And sometimes it's central, depending on how the center backs are playing. Looks like Morata's off. I don't know who's going to come on, though. Morata has an injury issue? Or no? He's just walking around. Mark says, how are we not behind in this game? Not a clue, my friend. We should be, probably. Madrid's going to kill us. Not going to lie. Yeah, they're going to kill us. Yeah. Do you see the things that they're saying right now? Madrid wants revenge and all this stuff. It's like, what do? We didn't do anything. Why do you want revenge on us? But yeah, they want revenge. And let's see how that goes. I mean, the weird part is Milan somehow just ends up doing something funny in a Champions League game against a big side. But Madrid is not playing very well either. Let's be real, like at least consistency-wise. And the same thing happened last season with PSG, right? It was like, oh, it's PSG, and before they come to Milan and they lose. This time around, we're going to Madrid, and they're a better side than PSG was for sure. Better coached as well. Pavlovic just gives up the ball to Monza's goalkeeper. Greg says this lineup is looking lost. It is. Monza should be up. We should be up too, actually, to be fair. If Okafor had taken those two chances, we should be up too. But Monza should definitely be up. Denia Maldini should have scored on that. For Maldini to not score on that chance, well, a couple of chances he got, but that specifically that one chance, Fofana with the interception, oh my goodness, that goes out for a corner kick. Long distance shot from Fofana there. Harmless Skink 9. Maldini never coached at Milan. He was basically in charge of buying players, but yeah, he was good when he was here. I think you guys might be having a conversation between each other. But yeah, he was great when he was here. He built this Milan, man. The foundation was laid by Paolo Maldini and his support management, Ricky Massara, Boban initially. They're the ones who brought Leao, Theo, Mike, let Donnarumma go, Tomori, Kalulu in the Scudetto winning season. It was all built by Maldini and his guys. Theo with a pretty bad corner kick there, to be honest. Chukwueze goes back to Mike. At this point, we have to pray we don't concede 4 goals in the first half against Real Madrid. Yeah, at this point, weirdly enough, I had this number, it flashed before my eyes at some point, was 7-0. And I was like, obviously we're not going to lose 7-0. But hey, you say 4 goals in the first half. My eyes somehow said 7-0. So let's just hope we're good. Wins a corner kick there. Pressure from Noah Okafor gets Milan a corner kick. Matt says Maldini was good, but not great as a director. As a director, he was good, but not great. I don't know, Matt. I think maybe if we contextualize it and we think about where we were before and what kind of state of affairs Milan was in for years, to just win a title, you feel like you got to call that great, that turnaround. There were some pretty bad moves in there too. Some of those bad moves are still lingering around. Milan Pulisic with the corner kick tried to do the same thing he did against that match against, I think, I can't remember when he scored the Olimpico. But Club Brugge, I think. But yeah, if you think about what Maldini did as a whole, it was good. I think it was great actually. But man, some of those moves like Divock Origi, like Fode Ballo-Touré, giving Messias a contract extension, I think they did. Maybe not worth it. Yeah, a lot of mistakes were made there too, no question. Charles de Ketelaere for that much money. Probably poor utilization by the coach too on de Ketelaere, I would think a little bit. How do you go from being so bad at Milan to suddenly being pretty good at Atalanta? The only thing that changed for him was the system and the coach. Here we go. Here comes a counter. That has to be a foul. No? Wow, ref is being very nice to Milan there. Danny Mota feels like that should have been a foul. I would think so too. He bought tangibles also, Familia Holmesing says. Yeah, Maldini brought intangibles for sure. He brought the aura that everybody talks about but doesn't have. Reinders to Okafor. Okafor from the left. Is he going to cross it in? That's a good cross from Okafor, but excellent defending by their center back. ACM Luca 24 IFC. Every time Milan plays now, I don't even want to watch them anymore. They never play good, and it just makes my day worse. Seeing how this coach is tearing this club apart. I'll be honest, ACM Luca, I think yesterday was one of the first days in a while that I was like, I don't even want to watch the game. Not that I don't want to make a video. When I watch the game, I want to put out something for you guys. But man, did I feel like I don't want to watch tomorrow's game, which is this one. And I think something in my sixth sense was guiding me in the right direction, because who wants to watch what's happening here? But yeah, it's one of the first times in a long time that I've felt myself slightly lose that interest in wanting to tune into a Milan game. And I think a lot of it has to do with what is going on with Leao. And it's weird to say it in a vacuum, but I think what it is like it's sort of a microcosm of how things are sort of, falling apart from within. And you just don't feel like tuning in for that. Of course, we're addicts of this team, so we're obviously going to tune in. Or we're going to check the score once the game is done, even if we don't tune in, because we need to know. Chukwueze with the counter. Pulisic from the right flank. It's a 4-on-2. This should be a goal. This should be a good assist from Pulisic. Goes out to Morata. Morata with the header. Reinders with the goal! That was a ball from Pulisic. Falls to Morata. Morata's chance was stopped. But he scores. Tijani Reinders. Good work. Excellent work. Great ball from Pulisic there. Great cross in. Morata should have done better. Let's be real. Morata should have scored that. He didn't. Game's going to open up more now. There's going to be a lot more space for Milan now because they're going to commit bodies. I mean, the way that Milan is a counter-attacking team at times, you feel like. Morata with the header. Yeah, that's easily onside. Reinders with a good header in. Itzo with the stop, but left an empty net for Reinders. Well, at least we scored. Right when we were complaining. And it goes to the guy who's actually been playing really well for this team. Really well for this team recently. Let's go TG. Jack says goal. Wasn't there someone in the comments who was constantly writing goals? When we actually score, they disappear. Everything good this year comes from Pulisic. Yeah, that was a good... Actually, it was created by Samuel Chukwueze, and then he passed it out to Pulisic. So let's give credit to everybody who was involved, not just one guy. And Pulisic should have gotten an assist there, Christian, because Alvaro Morata should have finished that. But thank you, Tijani. Marinzo says Morata should have scored. Will be the theme of the season. Oh, let's hope not. Hank says great pass from Pulisic. Yeah, it was a good cross in. I want to be a little bit like I don't want to sound like I don't want to sound like a dick, to be honest, but he had a 4-on-2. 4-on-2. And one of the players was actually trying to close Pulisic down. So he had 3 players to aim for and 1 defender in the way. So he should be crossing that in, guys. Let's not have the bar for Pulisic so low that we call that necessarily a great pass. That should be a pass that he should be finishing anyways. But yeah, at the end of the day, somehow the goals tend to come through the same guy. And that's not coincidence. The way that Pulisic works, the amount that the guy sacrifices, the amount that he finds himself at the right place at the right time, these aren't coincidences. These are all proofs of your quality, and that quality is more visible this season from Pulisic than ever before. Reinders with the drive. Reinders is going to pass it to Pulisic. Reinders with the shot from outside the box. Fofana is going to take a drive. No? Fofana to Pulisic. Pulisic. Christian's still on it, but I think got a handball on that. Yes, exactly, Thomas. I just saw this comment I had to address. We're not playing with a striker. We're not. The way that we're playing is not quite with a striker. It's like they both keep dropping back. Sometimes it's Pulisic dropping back and plays like as a false line up top when Morata's dropping back. Look at what Morata is right now. He's almost playing where you would think Theo Hernandez or Leao should be standing. Mike, careful. Easy, Mike. What are you trying to do there? Nice work from Okafor. Name Daxel Live says, I'm in love with Pulisic. I mean, when the guy scores and assists, how can he not? Hank, but you just gave credit to Chucky for passing it to Pulisic. Yeah, you're right. I'm saying everybody was involved. I'm not saying that it's just Chukwueze. I'm saying everybody was involved. But I think it was Chukwueze who won the ball and then turned it into a counterattack. That's why I was giving credit to Samuel. But if he didn't, let me know. I think this is the first time in the season that I'm losing faith in Fonseca. Really? Man, you're more patient than even I am. I always made up my mind that I'm going to give him 5 games to come up with some thought about him, and then I'm going to give him 10 games to really come up with a conclusion. Well, not a conclusion, but have a more stronger opinion on the guy. But you're giving him even longer time. I lost my faith in him probably a couple games ago. Maybe the match against Udinese. Let's be real. We're actually pretty fortunate that we're up 1-0 right now. A lot of the fault actually goes to Maldini. He had 2 really good chances that he didn't take. Should have taken. And that's the problem. All right, so here we go. Looks like it's halftime now. Let's take a sip. Some coffee. And get right into this. All right, it's the end of the first half. After the first 45 minutes, I think it's pretty clear. I mean, we've been chatting a lot about Leao. We've been chatting about a lot about everything that's going on with Milan. But watching that first half, I think at multiple points of times, you feel like it wouldn't have been surprising to see Milan down. They had a couple of great chances. The chance specifically that fell to Daniel Maldini, where he was completely unmarked, 1v1 against the goalkeeper, nothing in front of him. And the way that he sort of, pushed it on the wrong side of the goal post puts Milan in a situation where they were actually able to take the lead in this game. There were a couple of really good moments, specifically early on in the first 25 minutes. Those two chances that fell to Okafor, 21 minutes and then 23-minute mark. Let's pull up the... What are we pulling up here? We're pulling up this guy right here. Let's just, jump into some stats and all that stuff, go through individual players, whatever little bit of the game that we saw. And then we're going to get to the real topic of discussion, which I'm sure everybody wants to get into. Mike in the back, 6.6 for him right now is stunning because of the amount of saves that he's made. That one particular save where he got down on that one header is incredible. The fact that Milan has a 1-0 scoreline is insane after that type of a stop, as to how crucial that is from Mike. So 6.6 sounds ridiculously low. I'm almost losing my faith in this particular website to give the right rating. But Mike with the 6.6, Theo Hernandez has been involved a lot more in attack. He's helped out a little bit more in defense than usual, but attack-wise, he created that chance for Noah Okafor. Should have gotten an assist on that for sure. He didn't. Gets a pretty high rating, higher than I would have thought. Pavlovic has been outdone a couple times by Dani Mota, and that's probably why he gets a lower score here. And I think the Pavlovic discussion is still going to sit. You guys let me know in the comment section. Fikayo Tomori or Straina Pavlovic, who should be partnering up alongside, I guess, Malik Tau at this point in time. Tau himself, I don't think has been all that bad. I think Tau has been pretty good. You get the sense that he's been a little bit more of a support defender recently. Pavlovic is sort of dictating where we're positioning ourselves, how we're playing in. Tau is the one who's sort of following him, although didn't do his best job in the last match where they caught Romelu Lukaku onside. But I don't think it was a bad performance for Malik Tau specifically, but our defense has been ridiculously leaky. It's like, it's looking at individual players and saying, individual players that are not playing well, making mistakes. And then you look at the system and the structure in its entirety. I don't think Tau has been bad, but our structure and the way that we've been defending as a team, if it's not Monza, if it's better finishing, we're where we were against Napoli. It's as simple as that. The Lukaku goal was a lot more of, quality of a player that is, got a good delivery from his teammates. Kvaratskhelia was just individual class. But if you have a team playing the way that Monza has been playing against our defense with better quality attackers, we'd be down 3-0 in the first half. We should have been down at least 1 or 2-0. So Malik Tau might get a pass, but my goodness, our defensive structure has been an absolute disaster and a half. So there's that. Terracciano, I feel like, hasn't been as unconvincing. And let's not forget the goal that Monza scored too. They literally scored a goal that was chalked off for a foul on Theo Hernandez, which I honestly didn't even really see that foul. I'm looking at the replay right now. Let me just go back for 1 sec. I'm actually going to watch the replay one more time to see if there was a foul there or not. Because I think that particular goal that Monza had... Okay, let's see this in slow motion. So that was a Dani Mota goal. Itzo was pleading with the referee that should have been a goal. Watching the replay... That's not a foul. Unless their feet got tangled and I didn't catch that, that should have been 1-0 for Monza. So Milan got super lucky with that, and they're going to, feel like they kind of got screwed over there. Terracciano, I feel like he's been okay. But a lot of our attacks have come from that side too. So right now, Milan basically, bottom line, has a right back problem. And I don't know if Emerson Real has any injury issues or if he's being rested for the match against Real Madrid, because he's going to have to be running a lot when he's playing against Vinicius Jr. But we have a problem on our right flank. I don't even really want to talk about that because that's the most obvious thing. If you look at our midfield, Fofana and Tijani Reinders, Fofana has been not very good over the last couple of games. Last match, he wasn't as good in my opinion. He was a major reason why I think almost both the goals were scored. Or was it Musa on the first goal and Tijani and Fofana on the second goal? Fofana on the second goal for sure against Kvaratskhelia. So in that match, he was responsible for why Milan conceded a goal. And even in today's game, there's been a couple of bad passes made by him that have fallen right to a Monza attacker. They've driven out for an attack and nothing's really come out of it. But some poor passes from Fofana, and I think that's actually one of the reasons why the guy's sitting there, not very low rating, but significantly lower than Tijani Reinders. Reinders obviously is getting this rating because he scored the goal. He is, at this point in time, the match winner technically. And he has been playing a lot better. I think there was a little period of time for maybe 3-4 matches where a lot of Milan fans felt like we had lost to Tijani Reinders that we usually get to see. And I think that did happen. But today it seems like, now recent past, it has seemed like, especially since he picked up that red card, it seems like the guy is kind of back. And the kind of quality we expect from him, we have been getting. And now we're not just getting quality from him, we're actually getting goals from him. And that's one thing that last season we cried about with Reinders. Doesn't finish, doesn't take his chances. Why isn't he finishing? The amount of chances that fall to him, he doesn't score goals. The position that he finds himself now, especially when a profile like Loftus-Cheek is not playing and it's Reinders that is playing in Milan's attack, he has more freedom to be able to attack. He's going to find himself in positions where he can score goals. The fact that he scored 2 against Club Brugge, the fact that he scored 1 again today, especially from these kinds of situations where you get tap-ins or you get, a defender that overcommits to another body and then you're left with, 1v1 with the goalkeeper, those chances he's going to get and he's taking them. So I guess that's good on Reinders himself. If we look at Milan's attack, I think Samuel Chukwueze has been fairly quiet. I don't think we've seen... Initially, there were a couple moments from him, but mostly he has been, somewhat of the quieter guy. Pulisic is mostly but just doing Pulisic things. Once again, he was involved in today's goal. Should have gotten an assist. Morata should have scored. Didn't get it, but at least he picks up a hockey assist if that's anything, worth it. But he was one of the main creators of that particular goal that Milan scored. So not bad from Christian. We'll talk about Noah Okafor last. Alvaro Morata gets a 6.9 at this point in time. I think a lot of it has to do with the amount of help that he provides even defensively, or the amount that he drops back and becomes that extra body. The way that Milan's been playing, they're not really playing with the number 9. Someone was commenting about that Milan's not really playing like they're playing with the number 9. I don't know if that was criticism of Morata's quality, that he's not actually making himself available to score goals, or if that was a critique or that was an analysis of how Milan's sort of setting up. Because a lot of the times when you watch an attack, you're noticing that Morata is actually the one who drops back, helps out in defense, and it's Christian Pulisic is playing kind of like a false 9. So it's been interesting to see Milan play that way. Morata had a really good chance that I think was created by Chukwueze, a really, really good cross by him. And because Chukwueze was surrounded by 3 different Monza defenders, and he still managed to release that cross out. That was good. But man, Morata should have scored on that. There's no question about that. His header was way, way, way wide. So that wasn't really a good thing. Now, it comes to Noah Okafor. And that becomes the main point of discussion, because that will also then turn into the point of discussion that we have about Milan's attack and the big controversy right now with this team. So Okafor definitely provides more balance to the team. There were 2 different moments that I found him on the sideline that he was, he wasn't really an interception, but it was more like a block. Why was Nesta getting that mad on that? There was a block sorry, let me make sure I'm live in the game. That Okafor was involved in, but when you are replacing Rafael Leao and you're going to be the left winger now, when you get opportunities to score a goal, which is something that people have been crying about with Leao that haven't been getting, when you get opportunities like the ones that Okafor got today, you take them. And if you're replacing a player like Leao and you miss those chances, you get dropped or you get subbed out. In the second half, nothing in the first half from Noah Okafor has shown me, and you guys let me know in the comments, that Leao should be on the bench and Okafor should be on. Now it might get a little bit more tricky because Milan now has a 1-0 lead away from home, a big game against Real Madrid. So there's a possibility that they might keep Okafor on for a lot longer because they don't want to squander this result by bringing Leao on and have any other defensive issues. I hope they don't sit back and start defending a 1-0 scoreline against Monza. But those two chances that were created for Noah Okafor, one chance created by Theo Hernandez, I can't remember who created the other chance, but the fact that you find yourself in that position 1v1 against the goalkeeper and you do exactly what we have seen Leao do in the past and get heavily criticized for, and then a little while after that, you do what you do in a 1v1, not 1v1 at this point in time. At that point in time, if Okafor was much more clever, it was an empty net tap-in. And he fluffed that too. So when you're replacing one of the best players on the team, you're going to have to be better than one of the best players on the team. You can't give subpar performances and still keep getting starts. Then just something's up with the coach. That's, let's just say flat out, is just weird. That's just weird for the coach to keep favoring you over the other guy. I know a lot of this conversation is going to be about Rafa. I'm going to go to Anthony's comment. I appreciate the super chat, Anthony. I always say this to everybody. It's always appreciated. It's always, I'm always very thankful. But he says Fonseca keeps talking about progression, but I have a hard time seeing any progression in terms of performances. I think this is what pretty much everybody's, complaint is. For a period of time, I was okay with what Fonseca was actually saying. For a period of time, I was okay with what Fonseca was saying, that there is growth in the team, and I still think there is some growth in the team, but that growth has sort of become murkier now. There was a period of time that I felt like, yeah, Milan was actually looking better defensively. They were looking better not better in attack, but they were actually at least having other profiles getting involved, like Chukwueze, like Okafor, like Pulisic. Leao sort of stepped away, but the other guys were actually performing and giving us something. The midfield with Fofana and Rangers looked a lot more stable than what we had last season, crying out for defensive profiles. You did seem like they were sort of becoming a better squad. But I think over the last maybe 4 or 5 games, I think a lot of people have started to change their minds because we're still looking like we're always fragile in defense and we're not looking as good as we can possibly in attack unless we're playing against a small side. The way we played against Fiorentina, the way we played against Napoli, there was nothing convincing about either sides of our play, not defense, not attack. The way we've played in the Champions League, sitting in 25th place, sitting in 8th place in Serie A with a game in hand, you can't convince me that we're looking better. And for the coach to come out in the last match, where he talked about how this is one of my favorite performances. This is what I feel like this is my Milan. And he lose against Napoli 2-0. I already talked about this. Just don't say anything. Just don't say anything. Don't say that. Just stay quiet. Say that, yeah, it was a 2-0 loss. We're going to take it on the chin. We're going to start from the next game. Don't come out and blow people, fake noise about, oh, you know what? Best performance that I've seen from this team this season. I can clearly see the growth here. No one else can. Just you can because you want to keep your job. No one else could see that much growth in the match against Napoli. It was a disaster. So for all the fans to come out and say this was a disastrous performance, and for the coach to come out and say this was a great performance, or I'm so happy with the way that this team played, you're trying to put, you're trying to fool the fans, and that's just not gonna be okay with that's not gonna be okay with me or anybody. My God, my phone's going off. All right, there's a lot of comments coming in. Okafor is going to be starting the second half as well, clearly, but let's just dive into some of these comments. Oh my God, there's a lot of you guys here. I promise I'm going to try and get through as many of them before the game actually starts. Let's do this. Okay, here we go. Here are your comments. You can't even name 3 players that have been Milan shirt worthy this season. Oh, Pulisic. I would say Chukwueze because he's shown a bit of a turnaround. Mike. Come on. Let's be nice to Mike. He's our savior at the end of the day. Should have been 2-0 already in the first half. So I would say Pulisic, Mike for sure. These 2 guys, absolutely. And I would even throw Chukwueze in there because he's been better than what he was before. And that's what we want. We want players who are not playing well to improve, become better. But you're right. I mean, the point that you're trying to make is still very much applicable, is the fact that it shouldn't be a team, a Serie A title is not won because 3 players are playing well and worth the shirt. It's because the entire team is playing that way. So you're right, Christian. I take your point completely. I prefer Fonseca to Sarri. I don't. I think Fonseca is experiencing a tactical dead end. Murch says that. Something about your comment is actually very poignant. I actually really like what you're saying there. Yeah, you almost feel like he's sort of running out of ideas as to what else to do with this team. Matt says, okay, I'm going to disagree. Oh, who's Matt disagreeing with? Does Leao take those chances? Leao would have passed the ball to another player. Maybe. But that's not the point, Matt. The point is if you're going to replace him, you're going to have to be better. You can't tell me I'm as good as the other guy. Then I'd rather pick the guy who was the MVP 2 seasons ago. Right, so for me, it's not about what Leao would have necessarily done. For me, it's about when you have Leao playing in that position, getting that chance and maybe taking it, the way that his confidence will go up and what his trajectory going up will be, Okafor's trajectory will be like this, Leao's trajectory will be like this when he gets his confidence back. So it's not necessarily about what they would do chance for, pound for pound. The point is, if you're going to replace him, you're going to have to put these in. And if you're not, you're not going to be starting then. Saif says Okafor hasn't shown starter quality. I'm going to have to agree with Saif on that. Okay, it's going to be tough for me to go through all these comments, but I'm going to try. Nonso says, Kush, you said we should give Fonseca time using Carlo Ancelotti and Allegri slow start as alibis. Do you think the same way now? Because I'm not convinced about this dude at all. Nonso, as you said, give Fonseca time. That was my point. That's going to be my point for the next coach too, if one replaces. The game is back on. Sorry, let me just crank up the volume here. So you're right. It was about giving the guy a chance and time. I gave him that time. We're 10 games into the season minimum in Serie A. Combine that with Champions League, well over 10 games. Not convinced. Not convinced at all. Not convinced at all. Very poor man management before anything else. And your team is based on your men. And if your man management is poor, and what we're reading in news articles, this is not going to cut it for me. And look at the first half. I mean, even against Monza, we're struggling. Score lines can always be deceptive. It was a 1-0 scoreline, but that's not how Milan was playing in the first half. It wasn't a 1-0 performance. Scorpion says, no player is bigger than the club and no coach should put a player on the bench for personal reasons and say it's a tactical decision. I don't even know if it's personal though. Maybe Fonseca has convinced himself that he's doing this for the squad's benefit. So I don't even want to be cynical and criticize the coach and say that he has a personal issue with him. I just don't like what he's doing with him. I don't know why he's doing it. He has to be the one to explain it, but something about it seems weird. When you're playing Napoli and Pulisic catches a flu last minute, you give Leao the start without a question. When you're missing so many attackers, there's no doubt you give Leao the start. When you're missing Theo Hernandez, Reinders, you're missing Tammy Abraham, you're missing Pulisic now, you 100% put Leao in the starting lineup. So the fact that he didn't, it's strange. Weird. Old Heart Rossonero, my friend, making an appearance. Go check out his channel for sure. Always. Ciao, Kush. Believe in Milan. Trying, my friend. I'm trying. Agent Wirtz Winters is starstruck by Old Heart Rossonero. Don't believe in Fonseca. Yeah, Kashevit, I have to agree with you. Haven't really been believing in him much either. Matt says, Kush, I don't understand you blaming Okafor for not being as good as Leao. He didn't pick the starting 11. I don't understand you blaming Okafor for not being as good as Leao. I'm not asking for... I'm not asking him to be as good as Leao. I'm just saying that if he gets a 1v1 against the goalkeeper, you're going to have to put in the back of the net. And if he doesn't, then he's going to have to get taken off and Leao has to be brought on. And if he gets another chance a little while later and he doesn't do anything with that too, then you're basically telling us that I have two okay options, but I'm going to give the other guy more of a chance instead of the guy that has shown for the last 3 seasons that he can get 27 assists in one season last season, 27 goal contributions last season, 27 the season before that, and 23 the season before that. I'm not going to play that guy, but I'm going to play this guy who's also missing chances. Nah, I'd rather give a chance to the guy who's actually done it in the past and can get his form back. I think it's worth way more than to see Okafor play defense, which I'm not quite sure what it is. I still think Okafor is a super sub. Yeah, he's a good sub. Leao should, if Leao's not playing well, give him first 45 minutes and then bring Okafor on in the second half, around 55, 60 minutes. Yeah, I mean, Scorpion who says it's not Okafor's fault, it's Fonseca's. For sure, it is Fonseca's decision. I'm not saying Okafor's inserting himself in the lineup. I'm saying that the coach should be taking him off. This criticism is more directed towards the coach than the player. Towards the player, the criticism that is directed is that he should have taken his 2 chances. That's the criticism directed towards the player. The criticism directed towards the coach is that when he misses those 2 chances, you bring the better guy on. The commentators talking about how they feel like Morata's getting more and more loose with his antics and he might actually pick up a second yellow card and get himself sent off. Scorpion actually says, I'd rather have Pioli back. I always knew it was a bad choice to let him leave. No. I don't agree with that at all. Pioli ran his cycle. Pioli was great, won a title, legend. Anytime you win a title, you become an automatic legend. But no, his cycle was done for me. Matt says, just for the record, I'm not convinced with Fonseca either, but I'm not going to call for his firing either. Yeah, I think I'm in the same place right now. I think firing would be too soon, but I don't think he can get too many more chances. If Milan somehow loses today's game, he should be out. I would say that for sure. That I would say. If you go down if you're up 1-0 against Monza and you lose, the coach should really, really be seriously considered to be out. 12 games, 5 wins. Those aren't Milan numbers. Tough matches, no question. There are 3 really tough games in there with Liverpool and Leverkusen and Napoli, and well, that should mostly be it. Okafor with a lovely turn there. Should be a foul. Ricardo says, how can you say for personal decision? You guys seem to not have watched him playing since the start of the season. It's all about his attitude. I don't know, Ricardo. You're not wrong. You're very much right. He has an attitude problem. And I don't mean like he has an attitude, he has an ego. He's not fully playing for the team. There's no question. But that's kind of why you have the coach there. What's the point of the coach? They're supposed to make players better. And it's not like Leao's 31 that he's not going to listen. He's still a fairly impressionable guy. He's 25? You can mold a 25-year-old a little bit more in your direction. A little bit more. If Conte was doing it, I think Leao would listen more. Or if a more, well-respected coach was doing it, I think Leao would consider it more as an opinion. But because it is Fonseca, maybe it's just falling flat a little bit. I think I can't remember which player it was. I think it was Shaquille O'Neal, for you guys who watch, North American sports. Shaquille O'Neal always talked about it, that as soon as Phil Jackson became their coach with the Lakers, he's like, I would listen to him. The coaches before that, he said, sometimes I didn't care to listen to them because I was like, you've never won anything. So why should I listen to you? And then when Phil Jackson came, he said he had won 6 Champions Leagues. He'd won 6 titles, I think, with the Bulls, with Michael Jordan, Calabria's coming on. Nice. He'd won 6 titles with the Bulls. So suddenly I'm like, I'm going to listen to this guy because this guy's won. So it could be something similar with Leao where he's like, dude, I'm not listening to this guy. This guy's won 5 games in 12 matches. So I think it's just a mess. The whole thing's a mess. Look at how Milan's defending against Monza. As they should. I'm not saying they shouldn't defend, but just you're not gonna do this you're gonna do this for the next 40 minutes, try and hold on to a 1-0 scoreline. I don't know, man. That's not impressive. Patrick says, like, I understand Leao has issues, but at this point, Fonseca is a lunatic for not starting him. Hopefully they sack him after the Madrid game. Wow. RT says, Leao in, Fonseca out. That would be a nice sub. Joe says, in caps, Joe's in the mood. Bro, he gave Leao the captain's armband despite not playing for the team. What more do you want the coach to do? I don't know, bro. Captain's armband isn't really worth that much, in my opinion. You can be a good leader even without one. I know what you're trying to say, like he was trying with Leao. And Leao, if you remember the captain's armband game, he played pretty well. Though it'll once again come back to the same thing as I've already said a few times in this video. Someone got a red card. Oh, Paulo Fonseca got a red card. Well, I guess whoever said right now, there was somebody who did leave a comment, right? I guess you're right. Fonseca's out. You got your wish. Fonseca out. Oh, that's a nice ball from Fofana to Chukwueze. Chukwueze with a good cross in. Not good at all, actually. Well, Fonseca's out. Congratulations, guys. What happened though? Why was he sent off? But I'm gonna have to come back to this comment. I wonder if the assistant is not gonna bring Leao and he's like, yo, Fonseca's out. Leao, get ready. You're going in. Pavlovic with decent defense on Dani Mata. And Dani Mata's not happy with the assistant. He gave Leao the cap. Yeah, sorry. Well, I already addressed this. But even Sir Alex said you get rid of toxic players. Joe, toxic players? My friend, everything in today's world isn't toxic if it isn't good. Toxic? Leao is toxic to Milan? The guy who won the title for us 2 years ago is now toxic suddenly? Come on. That's what a fan base we have. He's not toxic. He doesn't do as much as you want him to do on the field at times. That's a fair critique of him. But no, he's not toxic by any stretch. He's actually a very good team player, at least in the sense of, the locker room. I'm not talking about on the field. I'm talking about in the locker room. He's a supportive guy. We've seen, I don't know how long some of you guys have been watching Milan. We saw how he used to treat Charles de Ketelaere when the guy who used to miss chances. He was been supportive to everybody. He would go on his Instagram making posts for players that weren't playing well, telling them it's okay, you're going to get your time. It's okay, it's just around the corner. I'm sorry, I refuse to believe that suddenly Leao, look what's changed. What's changed? 27 goal contributions last season, 27 the season before that, 23 the season before that. The coach changed. And suddenly he has this drop-off. I don't know what else changed. Did Leao just suddenly stop playing defense this season? He used to play amazing defense last season or the one before that? No. It's a lot of it is on the coach. A lot of it is on the coach. And as I said, if you're going to drop him in that match against Napoli, Samo with the drive in, Pulisic from the right flank. Oh my goodness. That was chested out for a corner kick. This mark of toxicity, I mean, come on. I'm sorry, I don't agree with that at all, Ricardo. Ricardo says, yeah, but Shaq is a crybaby even when now that he's 50 years old. Yeah, that's actually true. Milan with the corner kick. Outside the box. Oh, what a stop. That was a very good stop, actually. Who was that? That shot looked like that was from Okafor, actually, from outside the box. Bianco from the left. Oh, well, that's a good ball. Oh, my goodness. What a dummy that was. Excellent dummy from to Juric. If Juric had just gone for that, that was an easy tap in for him, too. Oh, tap in. Don't give up your runs, boys. Delane says, try watching this match. Yeah. Leao is warming up, Patrick. But it'll be a shocker if he comes in. Boom Bap Excel says he's going to start Leao against Madrid without giving him the chance to be in better form. Then many will moan at him if he doesn't play well. And this is kind of what I talked about in the last video, Boom. I appreciate you sort of bringing this up. Because even in the last video, I talked about how I think the problem that Fonseca is actually, the thing that Fonseca is doing wrong with Leao, Okafor from the left flank. Let's watch this. Okafor with a good ball to Pulisic. Pulisic finds some space. Chukwueze. Pulisic, good layoff for Chukwueze. Chukwueze with the shot, but nothing comes out of it. Terracian on the right flank. Goes back to Malik Tau. To Pulisic. Wow, Pulisic goes all the way from the penalty spot almost. All the way to almost where Malik Tau is standing. Moves. Keeps moving. Not a static guy. Milan's much less static, I'll be honest, with Leao off. With Leao, Milan sometimes gets very static. That is so easy to be able to see. So I actually do agree with that. They move a lot more with him. Without him, sorry. Pavlovic to Reinders. Reinders passed it out to Okafor, man. Needless first touch. And that's, yeah, sorry, coming back to Boom Bap Excel's comment is... Boom Bap? What's Boom Bap? I want to make sure I'm not saying anything inappropriate. Oh, Leao is coming on. Leao is going to come on now. And this is sort of what I was talking about, is that my problem with Fonseca is that he's not giving him chances against the smaller teams. He's making him play against the bigger sides. And a lot of the times when he plays against the bigger sides, he's not able to perform that well because he's not in form. You usually get your form in your gameplay when you're playing against the smaller teams, right? And you sort of get your form going, and then you can actually perform well against a bigger side. But if you're going to keep benching him against the smaller teams, bring him on, in the 62 minutes in at this point in time. You're not going to let the guy get fully into form. Let's see what Leao does now. He's sort of tied his hair tighter now. He's put it into braids now, not a flip-flopping ponytail. I feel like I like this better. You can run and move a lot better with this. I had long hair and I used to play, and it was not as comfortable as it is when you have short hair. Although I was never, a pro. So Leao is on for everybody. Let's see how he does now. Here he comes, Reinders. Reinders with a pass to Rafa. Leao. Leao with a ball to Reinders. Reinders. Leao! Oh my God, Leao fluffed it, bro. Rafa, you should have scored that, dude. Would have shut everybody up pretty quick. Oh, Rafa. Should have done better with that, man. Let's see what happened there, though. I don't think Leao expected Rangers to pass it back to him. What a ball from Leao to Rangers. What a ball from Rangers to Rafa. Rafa should have done better. 100%. Kind of fell right at his foot. If he had a little bit of space, he could have actually unleashed a shot. But that was good give and go from Leao and Rangers to each other. Leao comes in, gets a shot off, wins a free kick inside 60 seconds. Let's go. Let's make that the game today, Leao. Liam says, oh, Leao should have scored that. Haha, that was rough. Yeah, he should have definitely scored that. Leao creating chances in 30 seconds and now won a free kick, so we'll take them both. He's rusty, Brian says. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. And he only has, 26 minutes to be able to get that rust off? Start the guy, man. Start the guy and take him off if he's not playing at 65 minutes. Don't bring him on as a sub. No way. Ball was under him. Could have taken another touch. Could have, yeah. He had enough. The players were kind of backed off from him. Leao's not working hard at all. Just because he's won the title 3 seasons, you've been defending him a lot. He should have been world class since then. I love him more than anyone. Yeah, you can definitely criticize him for not working hard, but since he won the title, he's also contributed to 50 goals. Since he won the title, I'm talking. Chukwueze, Alvaro, Morata. Fofana. Scorpion says you can tell just his presence is different. Of course. Defenders are not going to look at Okafor the way they look at Leao. You can't. He's got nominated for the Ballon d'Or a couple seasons ago. He has the charm. He assisted 27 goals last season. Why do I keep saying assisted? He contributed to 27 goals last season. So, yeah, you're going to feel more nervous. And the dude's got ridiculous pace. Maignan with a nice ball to Rafa. Almost. No, not quite there. Rangers. Leao with the first. Oh, what a ball from Leao to Theo. First time touch. Excellent. Partner up with each other. Come on. Theo! Wow, would have been an assist for Rafa. What a strike from Theo. Lovely save from their goalkeeper too. It's that tandem. How many attacks have come from the left flank, guys? How many? How many in the last 3 minutes that the guys come on? 3 attacks already. And I'll be fair. I have to be fair. Monza's down 1-0. They're going to commit bodies up more. They're going to have, they're not going to be sitting back and eating up the pressure. Milan's going to have more space. So Leao has the benefit of that for sure. Because in the last game against Napoli, when he was brought on, he had the exact opposite problem. Everybody was sitting back because they already had a 2-0 lead. Pulisic with the kick. Oh my God, Pulisic almost scored again from the corner kick. Right, so I criticized the whole system and the setup that Leao in the last game against Napoli had to come on when the scoreline was already 2-0. So how do you expect the guy to, get a lot out of it when Napoli had committed bodies back? And in this case, Monza's not going to commit bodies back because they need that equalizer. So Leao's going to take the benefit of that. Just gotta be balanced. Just gotta be honest. Seriously, Morata needs to come off. He gets another yellow. If he gets, he's definitely at risk. Maldini. Morata's asking Milan to press, but the coach doesn't want Milan to press. What did Fonseca do to get sent off? I couldn't see. I think it was obviously some type of dissent with the goalkeeper, with the referee. Must have said something, but not clear what he actually said. Morata's terrible. I want to see Camarda. Morata hasn't been very good today. That's for sure. He's been very impatient and clumsy. Thomas in support of that. I'm super glad we went cheap on our striker again. I just want Tammy to be fine again so we can bring that 4-4-2 system that was actually working really well for Milan. Just do the thing that was working well for you. Why do we have to keep switching to this 4-2-3-1? I don't have a single defensive midfielder forcing this method of play. Teo, bro. Teo, wow. Teo is back. Finally, Teo waking up. He wakes up when someone else is on with him. Teo, once again. Teo, ball to Leao. You know what Teo is doing. You know what he's doing. Teo's doing this on purpose. You know that. He wants him to score. Teo knows he's so much better when Leao is playing. And Teo knows that Leao is not in good form or, has serious problems going on. And any chance that Teo's getting, you can tell he's just passing the ball out to Rafa. That's a team, I guess. Or at least a left wing team. Pulisic. The way that Pulisic whips in these corners is so good. Pulisic steps up. Another good corner kick. Oh, Juric clears that. Oh my God, why would Monza let that bounce? Oh my God, what is Leao doing? Ricardo says, I hate the fact that when he's on the field, we start playing only on his side and we become super predictable. Bro, we're getting a shot on target. The goalkeeper is making a flying save too. He had a chance with Reinders. I mean, if we're going to get something out of it, will you take it? You can't just have a microscope on just one thing. Let's see. It's just been, 6 minutes since he came on? And he's been involved in creating 3 good attacks? We have a problem when he's also doing good? Terracciano. But you're right. We do become predictable. There's no question about that. But it's okay if we're predictable, but we're playing well. When you're playing, it's predictable when Mbappe's playing too. The ball's going to go to him, but I mean, that's not even a good example right now because he's not really fitting in Madrid right now. Is there a single transfer of the summer that looks like it's going to pay off? Not yet. Fofana? I guess. Hasn't been too bad. He's been good, if anything. Attacks don't mean much if you don't score. Leao needs to assist or score. I think he will. Liam says. Oh, barely. Pavlovic. Mike. To Pavlovic. Pavlovic back to Mike. Nice ball from Malik Tau. Reinders. Back heel to Fofana. Fofana with a good ball to Teo. Teo with a cross in. That was a good cross from Teo, actually, if Pulisic would have maybe been a little bit faster. Oh, Teo, lovely defense. Almost had that. Okay, someone needs to get back to the left. Oh, no wonder I'm struggling. I don't have my glasses on. I forgot. Daniel. Fonseca's still on the sideline. Seems like his red card was retracted. Is that so? I actually don't see him yet. Again, Leao, the eternal hope. Yeah. The hope is for him to find form. Kush, I recommend you watch the pep talk Luis Enrique gave Mbappe about defending, so you can see how a world-class coach handles laziness. Now, Mbappe runs all over the field, even in Madrid. I saw it, my friend. And you're right, Luis Enrique did give him a good pep talk, but Luis Enrique is also a Champions League winner, right? So you need quality coaches too. You can't just have somebody repeat what Luis Enrique is saying. Luis Enrique also delivered, right? He won multiple titles, including a Champions League. So Luis Enrique taking Leao off and resting him and not playing him in a match against Napoli, I'll accept more than I'll accept Paulo Fonseca doing it, because Fonseca has not really proven himself. So yeah, but you're right. He has to do more. I don't think the defense about Leao at all at any point has been that everything's so perfect. Why aren't we playing him? He's just so perfect. The defense has been, you're underutilizing him. The defense is that you're not playing him enough. You seem to be not wanting to start him for, at times, no reason. Like the match against Napoli for the 20th time. We have had several chances since Leao. The hate is real. Yeah, I agree. We didn't see as many chances created from Okafor at any point in the game. I don't even remember if we saw any chances created from Okafor. He took chances where the ball fell to him and he could have scored a goal, but I don't remember him creating something for anybody else. Patrick says Leao hate is ridiculous. News June says, who should be our new manager? Oh, this is a discussion I don't know if I even want to have right now. I don't know. Maurizio Sarri, maybe? That was my pick, at least, when the season started, or before the coach was announced. I didn't mind that. But not a lot of people agree with me, so I hear you on that. If top this Scudetto is out of question, we should at least aim for top 4 right now. I think, Marcus, the only goal this team has, this management has, is top 4. Chukwueze with the drive. Chukwueze. Got it. Chukwueze should be shifting that ball to his left foot, without question. Bring it to your left foot. Stein says, or Stein. I'm calling it Pulisic to Leao. Man, would I take that right now, happily. Or Leao to Pulisic, I'll take either or. Monza's making a pretty decent substitution. They're bringing 2 players in. They must have attacking nature. Oh my God, where's our left back? Where's Pavlovic? Jesus, dude, where are you? That's a terrible ball from Monza, but yeah, they're making a pretty decent substitution. This would obviously mean that now they're going to go pretty much all-out attack, which will leave a lot more space for our attackers. And one attacker has to exploit that. He has the pace. He has the legs. He's fresh. Didn't start today's game. Needs a goal. So this has to be Leao's time to shine. Patrick says, Kush, do you feel this team lacks a proper field general leader on the pitch? Yes. Now I do. I didn't actually feel that way before. But seeing some of Theo Hernandez's antics, picking up those red cards, I don't know. Because that red card from Theo Hernandez really costed Milan in the match against Napoli. Who knew he was going to miss the Napoli game? You never know what's going to happen. Shot himself in the foot by picking up a needless red card after full time, just arguing with the referee. You can't be a leader if you're picking up red cards that screw your team over. Missed 2 games because of that. Udinese game, we got fortunate. Won it 1-0. But the Napoli game was never supposed to happen. It was supposed to be the match against Bologna. Got washed out, or at least, flooded out. potentially. And we ended up missing the game. He ended up missing the game against Napoli, and you lose 2-0. And you feel like you missed Theo in that game. So we desperately need a leader. And yeah, some people say Sandro Tonali was that guy. I can't help but agree. He was that guy. I mean, gambling aside, but he was that guy. Once he would have come back, he would have been that guy. Who should be our News June is asking this a few times. Who should be our new manager when Fonseca leaves? Well, there's your answer. We might as well at this point. Caprari from the left. Stay tight. Oh, he's left completely unmarked. Oh my goodness, how did he not score off that volley? Theo Hernandez completely left him on the right flank. My goodness. Oh, he was offside. Oh, jeez. Oh, no, he wasn't offside. Caprari with the ball. Oh, jeez. He had to find a better connection. Anne says the way you defend Leao is wow. Are you on a pay? No, I defend the guy because he's worth defending. That's why. Because when you give the team 100 goal contributions in 172 matches over 4 seasons, you're going to get defended when you go through your one phase where you're not playing well. One rare phase when you're not playing well at all. Mostly he doesn't give you much in defense throughout seasons, but at least he used to give you goals and assists. Now he's not even giving you that. So now he's really lost his value per se. And at that point in time, you have options. Drop the guy, let him go, or support the guy. I'm definitely going to support the guy. Matt says Leao has not been in form for 2 years. The fact is he's shown moments of brilliance and the talent is there, but lacks consistency. I'm sorry, I've given up on him. Well, I'd have to agree with parts of what you're saying. Shown moments of brilliance, yes. Talent is there, yes. Lacks consistency, absolutely. Given up on him? Definitely not. Not yet. I mean, if it stays bad for a long time, everybody's going to give up on him. But it just hasn't stayed bad for 2 years, in my opinion. Inconsistent for 2 years? Sure, I'd accept that. Bad, not good for 2 years? Not been in form, for 2 years? No, I don't agree with that. I don't understand this. How do we call somebody who's contributed 27 goals not in good form? I don't understand. Like, what are we basing? Because they didn't do well in big games? Okay, fine. I'll take that. Oh, Pulisic is completely outdone there. See, that cross comes in. We say very good to Pulisic's, I think, 28 or 29 goal contributions. But to another guy who gives 27, you say, not good. I mean, 27 last season, 27 the season before, 23 the season before. Just not good form. I don't get it. I don't understand it at all. I think it's just that the standard has been set where you expect more. You expect more consistency and more on a regular basis. You want goals and assists. Fine. He doesn't give you that, and that's a problem. Yes, he hasn't hit the next level. No question. If anything, he's receded or, regressed. Hold on. Morata with the ball. Oh my God, Morata freaking gets fouled, man. Pass the ball. You got a 4-on-3 going on there. Why are you even holding on to it? You're not a dribbler. Yeah, he's regressed is fair comment, but giving up time? No, not yet for me. Why RLC? Musa played way better last match. Yeah, he did. RLC's on. Prepare your pillows. RLC coming on. Chukwueze's good on the right, but he just doesn't offer that defensive protection on the right. Yeah, he doesn't. He's better than Leao, though, to be honest. What Leao does for you on the left, but Chukwueze does better on the right, I think. "84 minutes in, there's a free kick on the edge of the box. Is Christian going to step up and take that? No, that's way too far. This has to be a cross in. It has to be a Theo Hernandez cross in, no question. He needs to whip the ball in. Leao, stay on side. Stay on side. Oh my God, Morata should have scored that. Morata, what are you doing? Someone said it earlier. Should have scored that is going to be the theme with Morata. Oh my God, you got to score that, Alvaro. What are you doing? That's the easiest tap-in. Not easiest, but that's definitely a completely unmarked tap-in. Header in. Stop. Morata needs to work on his headers. Come on, Alvaro. Morata should come off. He's wasting chances. Leao hasn't regressed, more like stagnated. Right or brother? I think he has actually regressed a little bit. I disagree with you a little bit, but yeah, stagnated might be a more politically correct word. But, you know, when he's not done much this season, but he's also not played consistent. I don't get it. I don't know this team. Leao on the ball now. Leao, come on, take off, bro. Come on, let's see your speed. You got to pass that. You can't get past everybody. Oh my God, if he scores this, Leao, you got to score that, Rafa. What are you doing? You should have gone past the goalkeeper too, bro. Oh, you had to score that. That was an insane goal that would have been. That would have been an absolute shut the F up goal to everybody. Oh my God. That was madness from Rafa. Look at that. Look at who can do this on this team? Who can do this on this team? Who can do this on this team? No one. Oh, why are you trying to chip it, bro? Get past the goalie too and take a shot. He went too fancy with that. Oh. Who can do this on this team? Name one player who can get past 6 guys on his own. Nobody. We haven't had one in years. Oh, Leao, just leaving us wanting more, my guy. Oh my God. That was one of the best runs I've seen in a while. Got lucky too. I mean, the ball kind of dropped to him, but oh, goodness gracious me, Rafa. Oh, here we go. This Pulisic was right there. Nonsense. Oh, he has to take that, man. He just got past 4 players. You have to take a strike there. You're an idiot not to. You don't pass that ball. You shoot it. That's what we want from him. Get past these guys and take your shot. Don't pass it all the time. Oh my God. Please don't start this. Pulisic was right there. Nonsense. Yeah, well, Liam, I kind of agree with you on that. That is true. I'm talking about the first phase, obviously. But yeah, you're right about that part. I concede completely. Well, I think we have a Pulisic supporter here in the comments. I can tell you can play and not score, and that's Rafa. I can tell you can play? What do you mean play? Who can get past 4 different defenders on his own the way that he just did? No one. No one. And I've been watching this team for 20 years, so I fuck all know for sure. Calabria. We just have a bunch of... Oh, there we go. Pulisic. Christian. Lovely run. Exactly. Thank you. There are people who use their gray matter in the comments. I'm so thankful to Scorpion. People who actually think and process before they speak. He finishes that every day, of course. His finishing is rusty if he plays 30 minutes in 5 games. What do you expect as a video game character? He's going to show up? The fact that he can even do that much is pretty good. How many players can come on and well, actually, Chukwueze is the only one who can probably do what Leao can do. Pulisic comes off. Terracciano comes on, off. But thank you, Scorpion. A thinking brain out there. You can't give a guy 30 minutes in 5 games or 4 games, I think, and expect that everything should be perfect. Okafor, who's getting regular starts, can't put it in the back of an empty net. At least this guy can dribble past 6 guys and at least put you in a position to score. Yeah, he didn't finish it. He's definitely better than most of the guys we got in attack. Scorpion, you're my guy. Only Pulisic can finish on that attack. We have too many dribblers. I actually agree with that. Not enough of clinical finishers. And Leao, oh my God, Leao, don't go offside. You're right about that. Pulisic is probably one of the only ones I'd actually rely on to finish that chance. The rest of the guys, they'll run, and nothing comes out of it. Pulisic has that poacher's instinct to Musa. Rafa gets in the way of someone. Oh my God, Leao skied that. At least he's trying, bro. I'll take this. I'll take this version of Leao. It's okay, bro. Keep trying. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Sky one. Sky the second one. The third one will go. Oh my goodness. Did that go off the post? No. Thomas, he's constantly criticized if he doesn't pass it. If he does pass it, it makes the dribble or doesn't. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's... Some people are just complainers, man. That's just life. You can love Pulisic and Leao. Thank you. Well, I actually agree with you. But I've seen too many comments now. What's going on with Rangers? He's got to stay fine. Liam says, what do you mean he's rusty? He's a professional soccer player. He plays soccer every day. Liam, then every striker should be scoring a goal in every match. Every goalkeeper should be stopping the ball in every match. Every defender should be getting a perfect tackle in every match. Come on, bro. Come on. What are we even saying? You think a professional game is the same as training? Come on, man. What are we doing here? Why are we turning ourselves into a clown show? He plays soccer every day. Yeah, well, everybody else does too. Why didn't Okafor take the 2 chances in the first half? Why didn't Daniel Maldini score in the first half? Daniel Maldini was 3 inches away from the goalkeeper. Because sometimes you miss. It's not easy. Come on, pass it, bro. Why didn't he go central towards Loftus-Cheek? Morata should have passed that to Loftus-Cheek. There was so much space. What is Morata doing today? He goes down again. What is Morata doing? Dude, Leao has been in this form since the start of the season. Yeah, I mean, you're right. He has. There's no doubt. Maldini from outside the box. That would have been a stinger for Milan. I don't know about Pulisic fans turning on Leao just because they want their favorite player to be the face of the team. I don't know, man. If that's the case, that's just insecure. That's insecurity. And I know there's a large population of Pulisic fans that have that issue where they feel like they didn't get love at Chelsea, so they get a little extra protective of Christian, which is fair. Maybe someone could say I'm doing the same for Leao, which is also probably true. But if this is why people are supporting one guy and not the other, that's just pathetic. I support the team. I've known this team when none of these guys are probably what Leao was. Wow, I just thought about this. I've been watching this team since Leao was 5. And Pulisic was also basically 5. So I don't have a Pulisic or a Leao. I like both of them. I want both of them to score. I want both of them to win us games. I want both of them to play well together and without each other. Either or. I love you, Mr. Green, too. That's it. People just think it's a video game. Oh, Liam got mad. Not you. You're not a clown show, bro. I'm saying the fan base, not you, man. Don't go. Come on, come back, bro. Don't get that mad. I'm not calling you a clown show. But no, what you're saying is incorrect, though. You're saying that he plays football every day, so should be finishing every chance, which is not true for anybody. Don't get that mad, though. Nothing's personal here. Oh my God. If someone would have gotten on the end of that 94.5 minutes in. Again, comments are piling up, so we're going to have to go through these one at a time. I think a lot of you guys are just like having a beefing between each other. I don't know which comment to read. Well, I can get behind this one. Simple Gamer says, let's get Maldini back. I'm okay with that. Marcus says, Pulisic fans don't take anything on Leao. We love Leao. And yeah, I mean, it should be that case. All right, well, it looks like it might be 3 points here for Milan at least. All right, I do have to go see my family, so we're going to do this for another maybe 15, 20 minutes. Should be full time now. They have one final attacking chance here. Fofana tries to close him down. Leao. Oh my God, that goes in the box. Loftus-Cheek clears that. We're 96 minutes into this now. Kyriakopoulos from... Oh, nice work, Ruben. Ruben wins that. Morata. Leao is steaming in. Leao is steaming in. Leao. Leao. Bro, Alvaro's so selfish there, man. Super selfish there, Morata. Should have passed that to Leao. No question about it. He was in such a better position to get a goal. Yeah, Morata is getting on my bad side. That's not a good performance from Alvaro today. Selfish, fighting, picking up needless yellows, constantly diving. Just annoying as a whole. And Monza will honestly find themselves to be a little bit unlucky today because the first goal that was conceded by Milan and then not considered by Milan by the referee and called a foul, didn't really look like a foul to me. But still, Milan picks up a slim win here. There's so many, a lot of you guys in the comment section. So let me see how I'm going to be doing this. It was adorable how you told Liam, don't go. Yeah, man, don't go. Don't get mad. I got a family event to go to. I'm going to be late to that event. I'm getting late, not to piss people off. I'm getting late so that I can chat with you guys and have some, spirited back and forths. If Liam's watching, just know I love you and I want you to come back, please. But let's move on. Oops, sorry. All right, we're going to jump into the final points, but there it is. Well, that's I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. Is this a time-saving job from Paulo Fonseca? Was he even at risk at all today? in today's game when it came to his position. If Milan had picked up the wrong result, if we had been a loss, let's just say, would he have still been here for the match against Madrid? Do you think he's still at risk regardless of what happens today? But if he loses the game against Madrid, which is, more than likely to happen, Milan's playing in Madrid. It's going to be a very tough Champions League match considering everything that's happening. I'm just letting a few more people, get into the comments now, and into the stream, because some of you guys, let the games finish and then kind of pop in. The one thing that I haven't asked for today at all, I've completely forgotten, is that there's 183 of you guys out there. The stream only has about 72 likes. I would be really appreciative if, we can just get that, let's just say over 100. That's what most other streamers do. So let me just make these requests where, guys, let's get it over 100. Come on, that's only 26 more. So I'd really appreciate that. Outside of that, let's just dive into this game. I mean, it's been a less than impressive performance from Milan. I think they looked a lot better in the second half. They looked a lot better even when Leao came on. I think they did look a little bit better because Monza was committing a lot of bodies up top. They had to at that point in time, so it gave up more space to Leao and the other guys, and the attack looked a little bit more promising. Now, going through the individual profiles real quick, a 6.9 rating from FootMob2, Mike Maignan makes complete sense because the amount of stops that Mike made in the first half, they were pretty crucial. There were a couple of really important saves. One flying on, towards his right, saved with one hand on a header, a close range header. Mike with another incredibly solid performance from Milan. You look from the right flank, the coach decided to make a bit of a change. He chose to go with Terracciano instead of going with Emerson Royal. I think part of the reason was because he wanted to give a break to Emerson Royal, because it's going to be a big game against Real Madrid, and he probably wants him rested. He's playing against his Brazilian teammate. So it probably had more to do that outside of, a loss in belief or anything in Emerson himself. With our center backs, Malik Tau did unquestionably have a better performance. Pavlovic looked a little bit dodgy in the first maybe 10, 15 minutes of the game. Sort of what happened with him and Lukaku. Well, Lukaku kind of pushed him off. He was too soft on him. Dani Mota just used his smaller size, just quick movement to be able to undo him. And I think they did score off of that Dani Mota creation, but it was chalked off as not offside. It was chalked off as a foul on the next guy we're going to talk about, is Theo Hernandez. I think Theo Hernandez, from an attacking standpoint, was a much, much better outlet than he has been in the recent past. And I mean, that is a big thing for this team. I think he gets one of the highest ratings on the team, with a score of 8 from FootMob. I do think that he's looked better, but it has been a few games since Theo has played. He missed a match against Udinese. He missed a match against Napoli. He's back now today. We need this version of Theo a lot more. Defensively sort of sound. Attack-wise, a decent threat. He does, someone did criticize him for taking that chance that Leao had created, and it forced the goalkeeper into a save, which was pretty good in my opinion. I think Theo does take those chances and he creates opportunities through that. And I think he just kind of gets his own confidence and stuff up too, so I don't really mind it. But that attacking Theo, Milan will need it when they're playing against his former side in Real Madrid on Tuesday. In the midfield, Fofana gets a slightly better rating. I think in the first half he was a little bit weaker. In the second half, when Monza was attacking a lot more, and they needed to be more, they were pressing on the accelerator a lot more. I think Fofana was better in the second half compared to what he was in the first half. Tijani Reinders is scoring goals at this point in time. He scored 3 goals in 3 matches, 2 against Club Brugge and 1 today. For a guy, as I've already talked about in the halftime, was, a guy that Milan fans have been crying about. Well, not crying about, but we're complaining about last season that he wasn't scoring enough goals or getting chances but not converting them. He's converting them now, so that's a big thing from Tigi. Samuel Chukwueze, I think, had a much quieter game than you would have expected. Playing against a side like Monza, you would have expected a little bit better, but he had more leeway to be able to attack in the beginning of the game, first maybe 15-20 minutes. But after that, he sort of drifted away in the match, and he was substituted in the second half. Christian Pulisic gets a pretty high rating. I think it's one of those games that we've seen from Christian where he sort of does what you want him to do. He does the right things. Doesn't mean that he always have to assist goals or score goals or, put in tackles, but sometimes just offering that particular balance to the team is enough. And that's what Pulisic did today. From an attacking standpoint, he also created that opportunity for Morata that should have actually been scored. He should have had an assist for today's match, but he gets as I said, sort of a hockey assist instead. And I think it was a good performance from Pulisic. Okafor, to me, was not worthy of the start that he was given. Got a couple of good opportunities in the first half. One created by Theo, one created by someone else. Should have scored. It's just flat out, he should have scored. And as I've talked about, and we're going to talk about it now, when it comes to the whole Leao situation, is if you're going to replace that guy, if you're going to be the player who gets to start, then you better be the guy who scores the goals when you have great opportunities to score them. Leao didn't really make much of a case for that because he also had good chance in the second half, but we'll come back to that. Morata, to me, was, my God, a weak link. I don't know why he performed so weakly today, because we've seen a pretty decent version of Alvaro Morata in the past, but for him he was temperamental, he was impatient, he was fighting, picked up needless yellow card, is lucky he didn't get sent off at one point in time, didn't create almost anything attack-wise, was given two solid headers. One, I think, was a pass from Chukwueze in the first half, and one in the second half was a cross from Theo Hernandez from a free kick. You got to take those. And he didn't take them at all. He was really poor. So a guy like Morata that I have actually been fairly happy with because of what he offers Milan from a defensive standpoint, but I think I said the exact same thing in the last video. You're not signed as a defender. You're not signed as a central defensive midfielder or a central midfielder. You've been signed on as an attacker, as a striker, as a number 9, essentially. He's got to score those chances that he got. And if we look at the substitutes that Milan brought on, so they brought on, let's leave Leao for last because I know the Leao discussion is going to be quite a bit in the comment section too. Yunus Musa was brought on. I think Musa could have come on instead of Loftus-Cheek because Musa's been in good form in my opinion. But he wasn't. I don't think there was enough to be able to see about Davide or Musa from today's match. There actually wasn't even that much from Loftus-Cheek because all of these guys are brought on the last 10 minutes. So really the player that we'd kind of be considering and would have to chat about at this point in time is Rafael Leao. He got a 7 rating. If we look at the other defenders that played today, the other attacking players that played today, Chukwueze with a 6.8, Okafor with a 6.8, Morata with a 6.9. So I'm not saying that these ratings are necessarily gospel, but the fact that Leao gets a higher rating than all of those guys tells you that he did make a bit of an impact when he came on. He was an attacking threat. I'm going to dive into your comments, and we'll do this for another 10, 15 minutes, maybe. I could even do it for longer, to be honest, if the chats keep going through. But I think it was from a Leao standpoint, I'm just pulling up your comments here. From a Leao standpoint, I think he did some good things. And I think he was worthy of getting a start today. And I think if he had gotten a start today, and instead of getting 27 minutes to play, he would have had the 63 minutes to play, could have even scored a goal, or could have maybe even assisted a goal. And I know, Matt keeps saying the eternal hope, and that's true. Until you actually get the result, it's not good enough. But you want to see something good. And I thought we saw more good from Leao today than we saw from Noah Okafor. So for me, to the coach, you're going to have to play that guy. All right, let's get into these because the comments are, oh my God, there's a lot. So let me just try and see, where do I even start this from? let's just start from this. Daniel says Pulisic needs rest. Needs some rest. He has been playing a lot of minutes. I think he might be the most. He might have the most minutes of any outfield player for Milan this season. I think outside of Mike Maignan. So I don't think that's. I don't think that's something that I mind. Anne says, how many times did you mention Leao today? Hopefully 150. Hopefully 100 times the amount of goals he's contributed. Theo was Theo. Even when I'm talking about Theo, it's just Leao in me. Theo was better after Leao came on. Yeah, Brian, that's the thing, right? Like Leao just gets that. What Theo, the tandem of Leao and Theo is always going to be more effective than Okafor and Theo. And you can see that even when Rafa came on, let me not keep saying Leao over and over again. When Rafa came on, you could see that Theo was trying to create that opportunity for him. He wanted to get him on the score sheet. And there was that one moment where he made that pass to Leao that you could tell was not because he felt like that was the best pass, but because he just wants his left-wing teammate to score goals, for crying out loud. And the chat was all about Leao. Of course, he'll talk about it. So, yeah, the chat was also about Leao, right? So I can't be talking about Terracciano when all of you guys are talking about Rafa. So, and someone talks about Terracciano. Terracciano had a decent performance, to be honest. I think he was... I don't want to say he was better than Emerson because I don't think he actually was, but you felt like there was a little bit more stability because it was against a side like Monza. But don't forget, there were a lot of attacks that came from Milan's right flank. And a lot of those attacks were thwarted by Mike or just poor finishing from Monza. So I don't think it was a very good game from Terracciano. I think it was just that you're playing a side like Monza that is not playing very well. There have been question marks around Alessandro Nesta's coaching performances too and his future as well. So I think Terracciano got a good game to play in today, to be honest. What changes would you make for Madrid Kush? $100 to anybody who guesses the first change I would make. So, yeah, it's going to be that one. It would have to be Okafor off, Rafa on. Because in a match like that, in a Champions League match against a side like Madrid, you need your X factor to be on the team. And no matter what anybody says, whatever form he's in, he has to play. Outside of that, I would have to see, well, Gabbia is not fit. So I don't know if it's going to be the pairing of Malik Tau and Pavlovic. It could be Tomori because Madrid has very fast running attackers. And I don't know if Pavlovic is going to be able to match the pace the same way that Tomori can. So it might be Malik Tau and Tomori in the back line. Outside of that, Emerson on the right, Tau and Tomori in the middle, Theo on the left, Mike in the back, Reinders, Fofana. Up front, I would play Pulisic, Chukwueze, Leao, and Morata. Not a bad team, to be honest, but a team that's probably going to get spanked. Reinders is on fire. Pulisic is slumping. I don't know what slumping means, but Pulisic has been good. Reinders, Rijkaard. Exactly. He was at Milan's training ground a couple days back. Okay. Winston says, the last time we won a title, Leao was out our MVP. What has Fonseca done for Milan? I want Leao more. Get the Portuguese Ten Hag out of San Siro. I don't want firing of coaches just yet, but I would like to see Leao play more, yes. Ooh. Joel asks, what's this beef between Fonseca and Leao? Joel, you missed 2 hours, 13 minutes of this video, my friend. We don't know it either, but something's up. Leao needs to start against Madrid. I agree with that. Pulisic was okay. The goal was crafted by him, yes. It was crafted by him, and he did a good job. What up, Kush baby? Hello. Hey, Josh, how are you doing? He still did create the goal. Yes, Pulisic did create the goal. All praise to Christian. No one's going to take anything away from him. So sad, Marco says. Oh, Marco, how are you doing, my friend? So sad, Leao is even a discussion. We have much bigger problems. Yeah, but Leao might be one of the biggest problems we have, though. When your MVP, when your highest paid player is getting 25, 30 minutes in 5 matches, he's going to be one of our biggest problems. I do understand what you're saying. That thing you're talking about from a defensive standpoint, from a management standpoint, from the signing standpoint, from the owner standpoint. But Leao's a bit of a problem too. We got to discuss that. Marco says, Theo also looked much better when Leao subbed in. Yeah, as I already discussed this, he did look way better. Milan is the only club in the entire world, that would bench their best player on purpose. Joke of a club, Hamza says. Pulisic, like always, pulling water from a rock. He is a creative beast, or he is best creative. Madeline. Can't disagree. He's been our best attacking player this season. No question about it. Aditya says, are we really okay to lose Leao in this way? Because that's where the road leads, with him leaving in January. Aditya, I think that might be a little bit overblown. I don't think he's going to go anywhere in January. Milan holds all the cards in this situation. He has a contract till 2028. We're in 2024. So I don't think there's any chance of him leaving anywhere anytime soon until Milan gets the right amount of money for him. That's the final thank you grace that we received from Paolo Maldini. Oh, sometimes when I do a thumbs up, the camera gets stuck. This is a weird feature in this thing, man. Sometimes when I give a thumbs up, the camera just sort of gets stuck. So let me fix this for you guys. Just 1 second. Here we go. And there it is. Okay. So yeah, going back to your comment, that is the final grace that we got from Paolo Maldini, which was the renewal of Rafael Leao till 2028. And I think because of that renewal, Milan holds all the cards, so he's not going anywhere in January. I don't believe any of those rumors, and you shouldn't either. We need an Atalanta win against Napoli tomorrow. I'll take it. What on earth is Terracciano giving orders to Tigi and Fofana? Please, someone humble this mid... Oh my God, no. He's a teammate, man. If he sees something, he's going to have to let his teammates know. I don't think he's giving orders. He's probably just making them aware of something. So that's a team. There's no hierarchy. Everybody's got to be equal, right? Would you put Tomori on for Madrid? Yes, Brian. As I already talked about, I think Tomori might get the start ahead of Pavlovic because Madrid has those pacey attackers, and Tomori might do a little bit better with them. You do have to admit, Theo and Leao have something special. Theo. Greg, I've seen this comment a few times, and I agree with that. Matt says, good to watch you, man. It's nice to have these talks, even especially when we disagree. That's the beauty of it. There was someone who left. I'm Liam. Liam, come on. We're just sad. Let's not attack each other. It's tough times for Milan. Let's be good to each other, but I appreciate it, Matt. All right, let's see how many comments we got. Otherwise, I'll close this off in the next maybe 5 minutes. Let me see how many of you guys I have here and what I can... Oh, there's like 200 of you guys here. Well, let me make another request again. There's 200 of you guys here, about 134 likes. Last time we were able to bring it over 100. This time, can we bring it over 150? I would appreciate that. Thank you very much. There has to be a closing point that we sort of talk about, so let's dive into it. I did make a few points here. There are a lot of people that have talked about the fact that it's the defense. When Leao doesn't play defense, that's the problem. That's why we have to keep Okafor on. To that, what I say is that I think that applied a little bit more last season or the seasons in the past, where we had a player like Olivier Giroud who didn't really help out defensive. He did, but he didn't have the legs. He couldn't do it all. And last season, we had, in that sense, Leao didn't help out in defense last season either. So in that sense, we had about 9 players playing defense and 2 players in Leao and Giroud not really helping out all that much. So the fact that we've replaced Olivier Giroud with Alvaro Morata, who does tend to drop back a lot and can be pretty handy in the midfield in defense, not from a defensive, from a defender all the way back standpoint, but he can help you out a lot in the midfield. So to everybody who says that we need Leao to play defense, I say we have Morata. You always need that one particular body staying on the outside, depending on what the equation of the game is. You have to see. You have that body standing outside. Let that be Rafa. Let Alvaro drop back and help out in defense. I don't think Okafor is doing all that much from a defensive standpoint too. He is doing a lot better. He had, I think, at least two interceptions today that I can remember on the sideline. And those are valuable. I will never take away from a player helping out from a defensive standpoint. I just think what Okafor offers Milan from a balance and defense standpoint will have more benefit to get the 27 goal contributing Leao at his best form, that will help the team win more games than the Okafor who helps out in defense. That's my point. I think this is more valuable. So how do you get him back in form? By giving him opportunities to play games, by allowing him to get a start against a side like Monza, to get his form back on. Because coming on in the second half, in the first 60 seconds, the guy made at least 2 chances and picked up a free kick. Or one chance and a free kick. In 30 seconds, he created a really good opportunity with Rangers if that would just been passed around properly. Or actually, he would have taken a shot better. So I think what we'll get from Leao from an attacking standpoint will be better than what we'll get from Okafor from a defensive standpoint. That's my take. And you guys tell me what you think. I think obviously the key, I just made a note here. Okafor not as good to get starts. He's just, I think what you're getting from him from a start, you can get better from Leao from a start. And I think I don't want to keep drilling the same point. That the thing that maybe I'll close off with is that throughout his time with Milan, whenever he's on the field, Milan has a higher than 60% win rate when Leao is on the field for the team. And when he's not playing, Milan wins 36% of their games. That's a big difference. Winning a little bit over 60% of your matches when he's playing and winning 36% of your matches when he's not playing, it gives you some answers. And the last thing I would say before I go back into your comments is, people say he's been in poor form for a few seasons. And I've repeated the numbers multiple times. But 100 goal contributions in 170 appearances for the club, 171 today, those are great numbers. So let's give the guy some time. Let's go back to Marco. Fonseca will leave before Rafa, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. Okay, so there's a bunch of more comments coming in. I do have to, at some point in time, head out and go for this party with my family. So I appreciate you guys. Actually, you know what? I think I might have to make a move now. But yeah, at this point in time, all I can say to you guys is thank you very much for this. You know what? Let me run through some of your final comments because there are a lot of comments that I haven't looked at. So I do want to take a look at some of these. Okay, let's just run through them quickly. And if you have anything in closing you want to say, throw it in right now so I can just jump to the end and start reading that. Morata should have been replaced by Camarda. I agree with that. I think they maybe wanted to keep him more from a defensive standpoint because they already had, Leao playing, so it's already going to be a little bit weaker. You then had Chukwueze playing too, so they probably held back because it's a slim scoreline. If it was 2-0, I think they would have played Camarda. Leao's play is obvious to defenders. He needs to change his style or move his position to the center attacking. Yeah, but he still created so many chances today, man. If he had finished his chances, he probably could have gotten 2, maybe 3 goals. I'm just saying if he had finished every single chance that he got. So even if it's predictable, it's still good. Somehow it's still good. But you're not wrong. He should be finishing. That's his biggest problem. Ooh, this is a tough one, Josh. Should Maldini have taken a smaller role at the club? I don't think he would have accepted that. He was offered a smaller role at the club. If reports are to be believed, he didn't accept it. Someone says we are a team. I don't know if I agree with that, but we're definitely not our best right now. I think our last Scudetto squad was perfect for Leao, having Kessie and Tonali as ultra-defensive anchors. You can't disagree with that. When you have defensive stability and you have Tomori and Kalulu playing the way that they were, you're definitely going to allow your attackers to be able to release and, take chances, get caught up there. And even if they get caught up there, you got strong defensive personalities to handle it. So you're not wrong. And you may have actually made me realize something that is also very true, Antonio, that I think one of the reasons why Leao is suffering is because we don't have as good a defense, as good defenders. Because now, in the absence of good central defensive midfielders, in the absence of high-quality center backs that are in peak form, it's the attackers that are having to play that total football where they're dropping back and helping out too. And maybe that's where Leao's getting more exposed. So I think there's something there, Antonio. Matt, your family is going to come in the chat and say, Kush, you're late. Yeah, it's probably somewhere in there. It's just that there's so many of you guys that I don't even know if I can see a family's comment. Great stream, Kush. Thank you for the chat. I appreciate it, Brian. Thank you, Kush. Thomas says, I appreciate you, Thomas. Football Kush says, sorry, that's me. Thomas says, Maldini deserves a shout out in the video. Well, Maldini is Milan, bro. So when we say the word Milan, we say, oh, you mean Daniel Maldini? He does, probably. I don't know who you're talking about, which Maldini, but Daniel Maldini also deserves a shout out. He should have scored actually against us. Let's be real, but I guess he was too kind. Josh, Kush, go Kush. You've done us well. Have a brew for me. I will definitely have a few. Dynamic Face says, love your channel. Appreciate it, my friend. Marco says, great content as always. Kush, I appreciate it as well. Matt says, Forza Milan, buddy. Always Forza Milan. And that should be it. Yeah, I think I'm going to close this off here, guys. I appreciate everyone. Big win for Milan, points-wise, not from a results standpoint. Sarfaraz says, thank you from Pakistan. I appreciate my friend from Pakistan. What plans do you have for the channel? Oh, Mismatch with a nice question. What plans do you have for the channel? You know what? Let me actually ask you guys, because I have a bunch of you and I don't really get to do this. So let me just see how many of you guys are here. There's 100 plus of you guys still here. So let me actually ask, and just you can give a thumbs up or a thumbs down. For the future of the channel, I'm always going to keep making Milan content, but I am moving a little bit towards also creating more content about football stories, not just about AC Milan, but about other, not necessarily teams, or I'm going to start making 4 takeaways for other teams and watch their games. No, but just football stories. If you guys would like to watch that, let me know. I'd appreciate it, because I feel like got to grow it a little bit more, right? Milan will always be the anchor, always be the foundation, always 4 takeaways, always match reviews. Everything's still going to be there, rumor reel. But I want to create, I hear so many interesting football stories from other clubs, like Manchester City's 115 charges. What are they about? I want to make a video for you guys about what those charges are. You know, stories about Paul Pogba and his, you know, drug situation. I want to make an interesting, you know, story for you guys about that. So I'm just letting you know. Wilmer, come on, bro. Andre Obama, I don't know who that is, and not right now. Not right now. But yeah, so that is the additional plan for the channel, is to actually create more stories. Okay, Wilbur, you're getting something. I don't even know how to do these things. I'm trying to block you, my friend. Not block you, sorry. Mute you. I don't want to block my guy. But yeah, Andre Obama, I don't know who that is. Right now, I'm going to have to look for him, watch more of his videos, and then get back to you on that. But yeah, so that's basically the plan for the channel. I appreciate you guys. Background stories on interesting players. Someone says thumbs up to that. So yeah, everyone's trying to ban Mr. Obama, but it's okay. Let Obama live. BSEDIA topic channel. Yeah, so that's it. That's basically it. I appreciate you guys' comments. I'd like to hear the story of how Madrid gets away with stealing weekly. I don't know if that's who you're talking about, but sure. Videos like that. Also start a Discord. It's too much work, bro. I'm barely being able to handle this with my other business. I don't know about Discords right now, but let's just call it a day, guys. I appreciate it. Once again, 3 points from Milan. Important 3 points considering we have a game that we are behind. We're sitting still pretty far back in the table. Other teams are going to pick up more points and push us further down. That Bologna game hurts Milan. It's going to hurt our position for a while. But you need consistency and you need more domination. Sometimes you also need to scrape away wins like we did today. I don't mind that. But 3 points are 3 points. We'll see you guys. I'll see you guys after the match against Madrid. The 4 takeaways will be back then. It's election night apparently in the US, so it's going to be an interesting one on Tuesday when I make the match review for Madrid-Milan. I'll have one eye on that too. So as always, Forza Milan. Grazie mille.